In Psalm 40, David mentions a truth that's really significant. He says in verse 6, it's not sacrifices that really move your heart. Burnt offerings, sin offerings, that's not what brings you joy. Of course, he's referring to the Old Testament way of God having a relationship with his people, which involved a lot of sacrifices and rituals and things that were required as part of the covenant that they had between them and God. Ultimately, those things were about offering something in place of their sins. But God is saying in this verse through David that ultimately it's not the sacrifices and the burnt offerings that move God's heart. Even though there was in the Old Testament a place for them, that's not what it was about. He then continues and says, "But when you open my ears and speak deeply to me, I become your willing servant, your prisoner of love for life. So I said, here I am. I'm coming to you as a sacrifice." What he's saying here is God isn't moved by the rituals and the religious activities that we do. He's moved by relationship. It says in this verse, when he opens our ears and speaks deeply to us. In other words, when he gets to enjoy fellowship, communion, intimacy with us, that's what moves his heart. And then David said, so I said, here I am. I'm coming to you as a sacrifice. When we offer ourselves to God based on his goodness and who he is, that moves his heart too. When we tell him, God, I love you. God, I want to know you more. I want to follow you. I want to understand your ways. I want to serve you. I want to live for you. Those are the things that moves his heart. And of course, there's a place for doing good deeds, isn't there? There's a place for all of those things, but it's not about that ultimately. They don't move God's heart. We can't impress God by our own actions. He just wants relationship. And that is what he hungers for more than anything. And that is what moves him when we come to him and express our love for him and our desire to know him more. So I say this in the hope that it will maybe take some pressure off you and anything that you're feeling or anything that's going on in your life. If perhaps you're feeling that pressure of, oh my goodness, I'm not doing enough for God. He must be so disappointed in me because of what little I'm doing. It's not about that. He just wants your heart. He wants your relationship. He wants intimacy with you. So in this moment, if that's you, just come to him and offer yourself afresh and say, God, I love you. You are number one in my life and I want to know you more. And that is what will move his heart. So I hope that encourages you. That's Psalm 40 verses 6 and 7. Have an amazing day.